Sculpt out the six-pack muscle on his anterior abdomen, getting him a linea alba here on the side.
I recommend you stay at least for a week.
Tiffany had a flat and undefined nose.
In those areas, and we take pictures and we have them smile and we
Go back in, we're just going to test some of the nerves to do it.
Day 5, I'm getting a little more motion in my mouth.
Cosmetic procedures have become increasingly popular as people continue to explore new ways to enhance their looks and boost their confidence. But amidst the commonly known procedures like Botox and liposuction, there is a whole world of unique and eccentric treatments that you probably didn't even know existed. Today, we delve into the top 20 cosmetic procedures you might find unusual. Number 20. Cosmetic leg lengthening surgery. Once upon a time, many people believed that being born short was a permanent feature that couldn't be improved upon. But with the advancement in cosmetic surgery, there is a new procedure that may have you looking taller than you've ever dreamed of. As unusual as it may sound, leg lengthening surgery has been gaining fast popularity among the American population, crossing the Asian border into a market where it will definitely receive more appreciation. With an ever-increasing appetite for body enhancement procedures, many are more than willing to try out this strange technique, and there are countless testimonies. So how does it work? Limb lengthening surgeons often perform their magic on the femur, tibia, the ulna, or even the humerus. Through a slow and lengthy process, the bone is altered to essentially look longer. First, an X-ray is done to determine the length of the bone in question, and then the surgeon performs an osteotomy, cutting the bone into 2 segments. Then a limb lengthening device is attached to the ends of the 2 segments. This device usually comes in 2 variants, one that will definitely show that you've got work done, and the other which is perfectly concealed within your bones. Both pose differing levels of risks and rewards, so it is essential that you consider what you really want before selecting the options best for you. Following the surgery, you may need to rest in the hospital for a couple of days, but as soon as you're ready to walk again, you'll be standing tall out of the crowd like you've always wanted. However, you should note that this procedure won't work magic on your heights, as expected results are typically an additional 2 inches per surgery. But for most people, that's just enough. Number 19. Six-packs abs creation. This next one may even be quite stranger than the first. While many choose to toil in the gym all day, trying to build a perfectly toned body, others take the quick route to the results they desire with the six-pack abs surgery. This 3D liposuction process involves the removal of tough fat layers, which are then re-injected into the muscle for shaping, giving you perfect natural-looking six-pack abs. The process, which is also known as abdominal etching or liposculpture, targets the unwanted fat, usually noted around the midsection. With the sculpting hands of the surgeons, the fat is strategically uplifted from the body, creating a perfect contour, while showcasing the abdominal muscles. One surprising detail about this procedure is that it isn't relatively new. Liposculpture has been a part of the cosmetic surgery culture since the 1970s, although continuous improvement has resulted in a safer and faster procedure, producing almost instantaneous results. However, this process isn't usually recommended for people with large fat deposits, trying to minimize their belly dimensions or lose weight dramatically. It's not a shortcut to a healthier lifestyle and diet, which is definitely the best route to take in the journey to creating the body you desire. Recovery. Time after the surgery is usually about 5 hours, after which you may need to take a rest from strenuous exercises for a couple of months to give the body ample time to recuperate. Number 18. Dimpleplasty. As body awareness becomes a prevalent feature of modern culture, cosmetic procedures continue to expand beyond the usual face filler and silicone implants. These days, getting an artificial dimple is as simple as purchasing a can of beans from the grocery store. The process, known as dimpleplasty, is as effective as it is unusual. Most people love dimples because of the youthful appearance they evoke, and of course, the fact that it makes a smile even more beautiful. Like most cosmetic procedures, dimpleplasty is not a one-way traffic. Most surgeons recommend particular procedures based on their experience with other patients, as well as the desired technique chosen by the patient. Before the procedure begins, the surgeon identifies the preferred location for the dimple creation, after which the patient is then anesthetized to reduce the pain. The most popular method is by injecting a needle into the dimple site, cutting through the muscles and injecting a suture. This suture connects the underlying muscle with the outer layer of the skin, producing the appearance of a dimple without the need to remove any tissue. But there's also another one, although this may necessitate the creation of a scar on the outer layer of the skin. First, the surgeon creates an incision with a surgical blade. Then the resulting scar is connected to the muscle below the skin with a surgical knot. The process is usually quick and simple and doesn't require extended recovery time, so the patient is able to leave the hospital on the same day. You may need to avoid smiling for 2 weeks after the procedure, but other than that, the effects are permanent and will have you looking extra beautiful for the longest of times. As weird as this procedure may sound, it's not even the most unusual on this list. This next one kicks things up a notch. Number 17. Iris implants. While colored contact lenses may provide a temporary change of eye color, iris implants provide a more permanent change to your eye color. Eye color is usually determined by the iris, a ring of muscle fibers situated behind the clear cornea and in front of the lens. While this new procedure has been lauded on the internet as a quick way to get your desired brown or blue eyes, it may not be as safe as advertised. During the surgery, a slit is cut into the cornea, then a silicone iris is folded and inserted into the space provided. The artificial iris is then unfolded and adjusted to cover your natural iris. While this may seem like an extremely painful procedure, local anesthesia makes it a breeze. Although the iris implant procedure was initially developed to treat people with unusual abnormalities, which causes their iris to develop abnormally, it has since gained popularity as a cosmetic procedure. However, unlike some of the other surgical techniques we've talked about in this video, this one has been deemed pretty unsafe. Complications can range from reduced vision or complete blindness to severe glaucoma, cataract, or serious injury to the cornea. In this case, it seems the risk outweighs the reward, so you should be aware of the potential damage this procedure could do to your eyes before making this big leap. Number 16. Permanent makeup procedure. What if you could have your makeup on forever? Sometimes the process of creating a perfect glam look every day can be quite stressful, which is why many have opted for the permanent makeup or tattooed makeup procedure. This process has been known to enhance, contour, and outline facial features, creating a look that will definitely attract different reactions depending on what your beauty standards are. The process of getting permanent cosmetics is just like getting a traditional tattoo. It involves the implantation of micropigments under the skin by penetrating with needles and depositing the pigments into the dermis skin layer, forever altering the appearance of the person in question. Sometimes it's subtle and barely noticeable, but sometimes it can produce an overly dramatic effect that will attract the attention of everyone on the streets. Some options for this procedure can include creating permanent eyeliners, eyebrows, lip liners, lip colors, and even scar camouflage to cover those stubborn marks on your body. Many well-known people have undergone this procedure, including American actress Mila Kunis, Rihanna with her permanent eyebrow tattoos, Angelina Jolie with her enhanced lips, and of course Kim Kardashian. The procedure is generally considered safe and doesn't really cost much, although the final cost is dependent on the options you opt for, and of course the cosmetic expert in charge of the procedure. As strange as it may seem that some people would like to have their makeup on permanently, this next procedure takes things to a whole new level. Number 15. Facial hair transplant. When it comes to hair growth and hair loss, everyone has a different experience. While some struggle to grow thick locks on their heads and dashing beards on their faces, some find it effortless. While hair transplant has been a common feature in the cosmetic medicine scene for a while now, one procedure that is fast gaining traction is facial hair implant, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It is, however, a fairly new field, so there are only a handful of experts who are worth their salt. So how does it work? First, healthy hair follicles are obtained from a donor site, usually from the scalp. Once the follicles have been removed, What follows is the transplantation into the recipient site, each hair angle to give a natural appearance. Because the follicles are usually taken from the patient's own body, they would soon establish themselves as long as the incision heals. Before long, facial hair begins to grow, creating this natural-looking beard that'll be hard to tell it was surgically implanted. For those tired of their smooth, hairless jaws, this procedure offers a respite to their natural deficiencies. It is, however, quite expensive and can cost between $3,000 to $15,000 depending on certain factors. Number 14. Eyelash transplant surgery. For many people who struggle with their appearance due to sparse lashes, eyelash transplant surgery offers the much-needed enhancement to improve the quality and quantity of their eyelashes. Although the process may sound a bit intimidating, it really isn't as terrifying as it sounds. This simple procedure involves transferring hair from one part of the body to the eyelash area, a tiny detail that can make a huge difference in your total appearance. While the use of false lashes or extensions can provide a safer way to temporarily increase the volume of your lashes, the transplant surgery offers a more effective solution, permanently restoring living and growing lashes to your lids. Whether with patients suffering from traction alopecia or those just desiring a more appealing appearance, this procedure will have you looking your best within a relatively short period. It's also pretty expensive and can cost between $1,000 to $6,000 on an average. Just as with most other hair transplant procedures, the eyelash transplant surgery uses hair follicles from other parts of your body. So the transplanted lashes will continue to grow as though they were naturally grafted by Mother Nature itself. Number 13. Tongue bifurcation. Over the years, tongue splitting, also known as tongue bifurcation, has gained popularity among body modification enthusiasts. This procedure involves the splitting of the tongue in half. Why? Well, that depends on the individual. While some engage in this practice for purely aesthetic reasons, others go through the process to achieve some sort of sexual satisfaction. There are also those who believe that such body modifications enhance their personal identities. While creating this snake-like forked effect may seem to be the trendy thing to do, many people remain unaware of the dangers that surround it. According to experts, complications from this procedure can range from significant blood loss to infections and nerve damage. In some cases, patients even have difficulty breathing or swallowing, and sometimes it can even lead to tooth fractures and gum damage. According to statistics, more than half of the tongue piercings for people between the ages of 16 and 24 resulted in serious complications. Patients must recognize the significant health risks the practice poses before sitting in the surgical chair and making an irredeemable mistake. Number 12. Brainless like Barbie. Since March 1959, when the world was first introduced to the Barbie doll, many people have sought to mimic this seemingly perfect representation of the female body. In a bid to look exactly like Barbie, people have undergone surgeries and cosmetic procedures, ranging from face fillers to rib removal surgeries. But of all the Barbie-obsessed people in the world, Blondie Bennett seems to take the crown. It appears that she may have engaged in a procedure to embody the full extent of the Barbie experience. The procedure, known as hypnotherapy, seeks to make Bennett brainless. Initially, the 47-year-old had spent up to $25,000 on breast augmentation to bring her to a size 32 JJ, as well as getting regular spray tabs and Botox injections. But this doesn't seem to be enough, and now she's seeking to reduce her IQ so much that she would eventually become a real-life Barbie doll. In her own words, she claimed that the rationale behind her actions was the desire to appear as a plastic sex doll, and being brainless was a huge part of that goal. How all of this plays out remains to be seen. Strange as this may seem, this next procedure may be even stranger. Number 11. Puffy eye bags. Removal. People get puffy eyes for several reasons, which can range from a high-salt diet to allergies, and even some medical conditions such as thyroid problems. The most common cause, however, is the natural aging process. As we grow older, our skin becomes too lax, and this causes it to fall and wrinkle. As the muscles and tissues around the eyes weaken, It creates this baggy look that many people find unattractive. With the evolution of cosmetic procedures in recent history, we are currently edging closer and closer to being able to reverse aging, and this procedure remains one of the major advances in that direction. While most experts would recommend at-home solutions like the use of cold compresses and hemorrhoid creams to temporarily shrink the lower lids, these remedies can only do so much. Sometimes this natural menace can only be combated with surgical procedures. This involves a procedure known as blepharoplasty. To get rid of the eye bags, the surgeon carefully readjusts the fat in the lower eye area and then tightens the muscle and skin, creating a natural-looking smooth appearance. In most cases, the effects are usually permanent. However, some patients may require more than one visit to the surgeon in order to achieve the desired result. With advancements like this, soon, we may finally be able to permanently reverse the aging process. Whether that's good or bad news, however, depends on what side of the argument you're on. Number 10. Gum lift. Usually, a smile is regarded as the most beautiful thing to wear, but strange as it may seem, many people around the world don't really like their smiles. This occurs in cases where there is excess gum tissue overtaking the teeth. Sometimes it falls so low over the white enamel that only a portion of the teeth is visible when you smile. While this issue may not appear during childhood, it sometimes develops as the adult teeth grow in. On the other hand, excessive growth of gum tissues can also be caused by certain medications or other underlying health conditions. Regardless of the cause, the good news is that those suffering from a gummy smile can easily correct it with this simple procedure. With this gum lift procedure, the amount of gum tissue is effectively reduced, and whatever is left is perfectly sculpted to create the needed balance of gum and teeth. First, a special pen is used to draw the shape of the new gum line, after which a laser, which produces well-defined edges while sealing the blood vessels at the same time, is used to perform the gum lift. For the next couple of days, the patient may experience some swelling, but this soon goes away, and before you know it, you'll be brightening up the room with your radiant smile. Number 9. Chubby cheek surgery. Having a chubby cheek is either considered a positive or negative feature on the face, depending on where you're from and what your beauty standards are. For many people who simply aren't satisfied with chubby cheeks, the buccal fat removal procedure offers the opportunity to alter their facial features, creating a more perfect look based on their preference. The buccal fat fills the cheekbones and jawbones, which essentially forms the shape of your face. By removing some of this fat, the bone structure of the face gets highlighted, especially the cheekbones, and the hollowed-out areas between the cheeks and jawline. The process is also relatively simple, and will likely be completed within a couple of hours. First, the surgeon makes an incision on both sides of your face, exposing the buccal fat pads. Then the fat pads are pressed on, before they get cut and removed. Finally, the incisions are closed with sutures, which may need to be removed after the procedure. Patients may have to go on a liquid diet for a day or two to give the incisions a chance to heal. After the healing process, things basically go back to normal and it's bye-bye to chubby cheeks. Number 8. Jawline reduction. It would be pretty unfair to make a list of unusual cosmetic procedures without including the jaw reduction surgery. This procedure is also fast gaining traction among body mod enthusiasts due to the significant results it seems to produce in enhancing facial beauty. Jaw shape is often one of the major beauty issues many people struggle with. Thankfully, this unusual jawline reduction procedure comes to the rescue, transforming a prominent, masculine jawline into a more feminine and slender look. The process is actually quite disturbing to think about. This is because it involves shaving off the outer half of the jaw, a procedure that is usually performed from inside the mouth. By manually reducing the amount of bone in the jawline, cosmetic surgeons are able to narrow the bone structure, creating a more aesthetically pleasing facial contour that will enhance your facial beauty, and of course, boost your confidence. The average cost can reach up to $56,000, so this is definitely not a cheap procedure. The results are, however, worth every penny, and the permanent results will have you turning heads everywhere you go. Number 7. Braline backlift surgery. While significant weight loss is often regarded as a win, it also comes with some level of discomfort, especially in women. One of these is the prevalence of sagging or loose skin and unwanted bulges in certain areas of the body, which may include the upper back and underarm region. While many may be quick to recommend conventional solutions like diet and exercise, these can only do so much to alleviate the effects. Sometimes, surgical intervention is the only plausible option. This is where the Braline backlift surgery comes in. With this procedure, excessive back tissues can be eliminated, creating a well-sculpted upper back region. The process is relatively straightforward, and general anesthesia makes the procedure painless and safe for the patient. First, a butterfly-shaped incision is made across the back as a means of excising the sagging skin and unwanted bulges. Then liposuction is employed to eliminate the fat deposits. This is usually done using a small tube known as a cannula, which sucks out the unwanted fat. Following the success of the liposuction, the remaining back skin is sutured together, while the scar remains hidden along the bra line. Although a level of results may be noticeable immediately after the surgery, it may take a while for the difference to fully manifest. Recovery time is also quite short, although you may need to avoid lifting heavy objects or engaging in strenuous exercises in the meantime. Subscriber's pick. Before we go on with the rest of the video, here's our subscriber's pick for today. While it doesn't hurt to get a little work done here and there, some people take it to the very extreme, like the case of Pixie Fox, the woman who is said to have undergone up to 200 plastic surgeries in an attempt to become a living cartoon. From wearing a corset every day so as to achieve the tiniest waist humanly possible to removing a part of her ribs, there is nothing this fairy isn't willing to do to enhance her looks. Then there's this woman, whose large forehead has been a bother for so many years. After many bouts with indecision, she finally summoned the courage to approach the cosmetic surgeons to help reconstruct her face. The results? Absolutely stunning. Do you think people sometimes take cosmetic surgeries too far? Share your thoughts with us in the comments down below. Now let's get back to the video. Number 5. Palm plastic surgery. Of the many body features that require modifications, the palm seems to be the strangest of them all. This new procedure originated from Japan, and it seeks to not only alter the natural lines and wrinkles on your palm, but also alter your fate along with it. You see, many Japanese believe that the fate of a man is written in the palms of his hands. Therefore, by changing what's written on your palm, you can successfully alter the course of your life. Whether this works or not depends on what you choose to believe. The process involves the use of an electric scalpel to burn the flesh, leaving a semi-permanent scar, which many believe will ultimately change their fate. The procedure takes between 10 to 15 minutes, and about 5 to 10 lines are usually drawn on the palm. It is also not cheap and can cost up to $1,000. Regardless of whether it works as desired or not, the demand for this procedure continues to increase every year, so much so that some clinics in Japan had to turn away many patients due to the inability to handle the growing demands. Number 4. Umbilicoplasty. Although the belly button surgical procedure was originally intended for repairing umbilical hernias in infants, over time, it has gained acceptance as a cosmetic procedure. For many people, their belly button can sometimes appear non-aesthetically pleasing. And now, thanks to umbilicoplasty, this physical feature can be altered to fit with the demands of the patient. This procedure is especially common for people who have undergone challenging pregnancies or have scars from piercing that went wrong. An umbilicoplasty is typically very safe and is usually done within an hour. The procedure may require removing extra skin to transform the belly button into an innie, after which the incision is then stitched up, followed by a healing process that will take a couple of weeks. As with many surgical procedures, patients may need to avoid strenuous exercises for a while. But once the recovery process is over, you can enjoy swimsuit season with a renewed sense of confidence. Number 3. Vampire facelift. What better way to rejuvenate aging skin than to have the blood of a vampire injected into your bloodstream, right? No, that's not what this is about. The vampire facelift is an attempt by plastic surgeons to devise a minimally invasive treatment that will help reverse the natural aging process. This revolutionary procedure includes two primary treatments. First, there is the administration of dermal fillers, which feature the use of hyaluronic acid-based fillers to help reshape the contour of your face, creating this natural and youthful look effortlessly. These fillers restore volume to your skin, filling in hollow areas, while also smoothing your wrinkles. The results are immediate and usually last for at least a year or longer. Then there's the process involving platelet-rich plasma, or PRP, which involves drawing a sample of your blood, spinning it on a centrifuge to remove the golden yellow PRP growth factors, and then administering it into the affected areas. Before long, you will begin to notice a firmer, healthier skin, which will keep on improving with weeks of follow-up treatments. This procedure offers a non-surgical facelift option, and surprisingly, it works. Number 2. Hand lifts. Aging comes with many challenges, but plastic surgery is here to solve them all. With this innovative surgical procedure known as hand lifts, many people have been able to successfully eliminate wrinkles and prominent veins. This surgical procedure has been on the rise since its introduction into the plastic surgery industry and has been seen as a revolutionary way to combat the natural aging process. Popular methods utilized in sculpting the hands to a perfect shape includes a combination of filler injectables and fat transfer. Typically, a hand lift procedure costs between $2,000 to $4,000, depending on your preferences. However, unlike the facelift, the hand lift technique is basically a non-surgical procedure, which means your skin will never be cut. Instead, it involves the use of filler injections, administered through small entry points on the back of the hands, between the tendons and bones. These hyaluronic acid fillers or biostimulating agents are then slowly injected into the skin, followed by a gentle massage to evenly distribute the substance throughout the entire back of your hand. The results, however, are not permanent and may soon wear off within 9 months or a maximum of 1 full calendar year. Number 1. Gynecomastia surgery. A perfect place to wrap up our list of strange and unusual cosmetic procedures is the male breast reduction surgery. Believe it or not, this procedure is quite popular and has seen growing patronage over the years. The procedure, known as gynecomastia surgery, is aimed at correcting enlarged male breasts, which can be somewhat embarrassing for many. Sometimes this gynecomastia can be so severe that a drooping breast envelope and even a breast lift may also be necessary. This procedure involves a combination of liposuction to remove mild to moderate excess fatty tissues, and the direct excision of excess breast tissues and skin. The recovery process after the procedure can take up to 2 weeks, and patients may also have to wear a compression vest for up to 6 weeks in order to improve the swelling and contour. The surgical procedure is pretty expensive and can cost up to $4,000. By removing these extra breast fat and tissue from the chest, patients report experiencing renewed confidence, as well as a more firm grip on their identity. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.